we're going to have a look at this question here, question 6 on the 2021 paper, and this one's going for 10 marks. It says the derivative of this function can be represented in this form here. So first idea would be to actually get the derivative. The derivative would be the best choice to get some marks on the board. Okay, so what it says is that differentiate this, bring the 3 to the front, I get 6x squared. Okay, differentiate this, bring the 2 to the front and get 12x. Differentiate 12x, you get minus 12. Differentiate 3, it's disappeared. So this is what the first derivative actually is. But it also says that the first derivative is this thing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them equal to each other because that's what it says the first derivative is. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to multiply this out. So I'm going to get a, and I'm going to multiply x plus b by another x plus b. And what I'm going to get is x squared plus 2bx plus b squared, because it is x squared plus bx plus another bx plus b squared. And there's still your c here. Now we're going to multiply out, I'm going to get ax squared plus 2abx plus ab squared plus c. Now, when you compare both sides to each other, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get 6x squared equals ax squared. This must mean a equals 6. Done. Then we know that 2ab is going to be 2 times 6 times b, which is actually 12b. 12b must equal 12. And this implies that b must equal 1, because b will be 12 over 12, which is 1. And lastly, we can see that minus 12 has to equal the parts without the x in it. So it's going to be ab squared plus c equals minus 12. Well, a is 6, b is 1 squared, and then that's going to be 6 plus c equals minus 12. This implies that c, when you bring the 6 over to your side, c will have to be minus 18. Check your answers, and they're all good, and that was worth 10 marks. Full differentiation would have got you 5 out of 10, so we would have got 5 out of 10 for just this part here. Okay, let's move on. The next part, g of x is this much. Find the range of values for which f of x is bigger than g of x. No bother. So f of x is this up here. It's 6x squared plus 12x minus 12. That is the first derivative, isn't it? Because it's f dash x. G dash x means differentiate what's in the green zone. So differentiate 36x and I get 36. Differentiate 5, it disappears. Bring it all to one side. 6x squared plus 12x. Bring 36 out of your side and I get minus 48 greater than 0. Divide both sides by 6. And I think that's going to be minus 8. This is a U-shaped function. And I need to find the two positions in which it crosses the axis. And when I factorize that, factors of minus 8 that add to give me plus 2 are going to be 4 and minus 2. You could also use the minus b formula, which I know some people prefer to do. And we have x equals 2 and x equals minus 4. So that means minus 4 is over here, 2 is over here. Please be aware of the region you're looking for. You're looking for it to be bigger than 0. So it's going to be these two regions here. This is going to be the region where x is bigger than 2 or x is smaller than minus 4. Okay, and that is almost the end of that question. That was only part A, which is worth 20 marks. And now we're on to part B, which is worth 10 marks. The diagram below shows T. T is a tangent. So see this black line here? That's the tangent T. And there's a function, see this function here, hx, that's the curvy function there that goes up and down. And please be reminded that your calculator will need to be in radian mode because this is done in radians because of the pi. Okay. Now, what it's asking for is, okay, at the point where pi x equals pi over 6. So this is the point where that's pi over 6, this point here. Well, it doesn't give us the y value, but we know the x value. Okay, because it hits the curve at x equals pi over 6. Okay, now a is 0k, which is this one here. K is element of r, is where it cuts the y-axis. Find the value of k corrected 2 decimal places. Basically, find where the tangent line hits the y-axis is the question. So first of all, I'm going to have to find the tangent line. A line, you need the equation of a line formula to find a line. I need to know a point on the line. Well, I know the x1 value, but I do not know the y1 value. So what I have here is going to be y equals x minus pi over 6. Now, I'm going to have to find the y value. Well, we know that the y value, it's on the curve, so I can replace x with pi over 6, and I can find out what the y value is. So it's going to be 2 times sine. Now, 2 times pi over 6. 2 times pi over 6 is actually pi over 3, if you do it in the calculator. 2 bracket pi over 6 is pi over 3, or as one of my students refers to fractions like 1/3 pi. So I do pi over 3. 2 times sine pi over 3. Now I need to be in shift mode, I need to be in radians. Shift pi divided by 3. And I get root 3. So root 3 is this other region here. Okay, so y1 is actually root 3. The only thing I'm lacking is the slope. And what we learned in calculus is that the slope is always the first derivative. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to differentiate this function here to find its slope, because it's a tangent, it's the slope at that point. So I'm going to differentiate it once. This 2 goes straight through. Sine turns directly into cos. Have to differentiate the angle, which is another 2. 2 times 2 is 4. It's 4 cos 2x. Now the deal is that I know that the x value, what I'm looking for is the x value at this line here. X equals pi over 6. So I know the value I need to put in. So it's going to be 4 cos 2 times pi over 6. And 2 times pi over 6, as we already discussed in detail, is pi over 3. 4 times cos pi over 3. It's a slope of 2. So now we know that this slope is 2. Now, here's the equation of our line. Okay? Now, we don't need to do much with it, because what we're told is that this point 0k is on this line. So, as an example, if I had x plus y equals 5 as my line, and I was told that 0 and k are on this line, I simply replace x with 0, y with k, and I find out that k equals 5. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Anywhere I see x, I'm going to replace it with 0. So it's going to be 2 times 0 minus pi over 6. And anywhere I see y, I'm going to replace it with k. Then I'm going to get 2 times pi over 6, which we know is minus pi over 3. I'm going to bring the root 3 to the other side. And this is my k value right here. And k is going to be root 3 minus shift pi over 3. And I get 0.684. I'm hoping that's correct. Yes, it is, or minus 0.668, correct to 2 decimal places. And that is question 5 done. That last 10 marks was very difficult, to be fair, but the first 20 was easy.